Gormagos, can you hear me, Chair?
Yes, yeah.
Very good. Minister, I'm not sure if you're following the Southeast around or the Southeast is following you around, but every time there's a big issue in the Southeast, you happen to be in the hot seat. Ironically, I have to point out that this university most likely will happen before the second CAT lab is in place. But be that as it may, I want to welcome some of the responses that you gave to Teachta Ó Cásaic and some of what was in your opening statement as well. So I just want to say from the outset, and I've had conversations with you on this issue directly in the past, I'm an enthusiastic supporter of a technological university for the Southeast. I want it to happen. I welcome your commitment to drive this over the line and to make it happen as quickly as possible. And I think it will be really exciting for the Southeast if this happens on the 1st of January next year. And I wish those involved in both institutes that are doing huge work to get the application in place and to get the process over the line the best of luck as well. So obviously there's a huge amount of work to be done. If I can just come back to some of the issues that were raised by Teachta Ó Cásaic and maybe just seek some more clarity. So I do welcome the fact that you said that there will be additional funding made available to increase the footprint of the campus in Waterford and that you want to use the TUSE model to expand third level education in Waterford and indeed in the Southeast to other areas as well. So I do welcome that. And I'm a supporter of the multi-campus solution. And what you said is that would be in the context of the National Development Plan. So I suppose my question is, will we see the colour of that money before the designation of the university itself? And I think people would be comforted if they knew that, that will be the case. So I know that both institutes have made applications themselves under the revised National Development Plan. But what we would want to see is, as soon as is possible, the total quantum of money over a 20-year period that will be invested in what will be the new university next year. That's my first question. The second is in relation to the headquarters. And this is something that has come up. It came up very strongly in the meetings that we did with the Chamber of Commerce and with a campaign group called the Friends of the Technological University of the Southeast. And it isn't an unimportant matter. I agree that the funding is a big issue. And I accept what you're saying in relation to the governing body will ultimately make the decision. But I suppose my question for you is, what criteria will the governing body be working to when they make that decision or assess making that decision? And would that decision have to be in line with the national planning framework? And we know a lot of work was done to ensure that we get regional development right, we get the national planning framework right. Waterford City was to be seen as the catalyst for growth right across the region. So if you can bear with me in terms of how I'm putting the question, will that issue in relation to the headquarters be consistent with the national planning framework? And I put that constructively to you. And then in relation to the composition of the board, so my understanding is there's a limited number of appointments that are made first, and then those numbers that are appointed have to oversee the election of other positions, and there's further appointments. So maybe in the short time that you have, you might be able to respond to that as well. But the two critical issues I think that will give confidence to people in the Southeast and deal with some of those issues that you raised, where there are people who have a different opinion and believe that Waterford can go it alone. I don't believe that. I believe that the offer that's on the table is the offer that we need to build on to get this over the line. And anything I can do to support that, I certainly will do. But as much as you can, if you can address those concerns in relation to the headquarters, but crucially the capital funding issue. Thank you, Minister.
Minister, just to remind you, and David Cullinane, you used up 4 minutes, so you have just 1 minute left to reply, and I will be cutting you off because we have quite a number of other people to come in.
I speak very fast. Thank you for being an enthusiastic supporter. Thank you for not playing politics with this. Thank you for being constructive in your engagement on this matter. I do acknowledge that. On capital, I mean, you're right. Look, the overall capital envelope will be decided in the National Development Plan. That is, let me just say this without going too far, that is not delaying discussions that I want to have with Waterford IT, as it now is, with the local authority in Waterford and others to try and secure additional space. And those conversations are active, they're live, and they're ongoing as we speak. So how advanced we can get them, as quickly as we can get them, remains to be seen, but very committed to trying to make progress on this to, as you say, show the people of Waterford a good faith in relation to this. In relation to the headquarters, it is a matter for the governing authority. The information that was put out by some people is factually incorrect, absolutely factually incorrect. I do appoint the first board. and I will be appointing sensible people to that first board through a public process, people with experience and expertise who I'm sure will take into consideration all of the matters that you've raised. The board then, as you say, after 2 years repopulates itself with a minimum of 14 members, a maximum of 22. Up to 8 of them must be external members, and 3 of them are ministerial appointments as well. And I'll send you a detailed note in relation to that. But thank you for your support. We can do this. And the only thing that will stop us doing this is ourselves. If we drive on, we'll deliver this, and we'll deliver it on the 1st of January next year.